born in Ireland, on a farm, in Donegal.
That's in Ireland, yeah.
And we had a big family, we had a big flat family.
Well, I was born in this place in Boston, you know?
Chelsea.
No, I'm sorry. Okay. I was born here in Massachusetts, in Chelsea. That's near Revere, Everett, right on the line. And I had a marvelous mom and dad. I'm the baby of 13 children. And they stopped having them because they got the perfect child.
That's because we didn't want any more like you. There was 10 of us in it. Well, there was 4, and then I had a boy that died when he was 8 months. And there was a boy and 3 girls, and then a boy, and he died 8 months. And then I heard my mother say she walked the floor with him for 8 months, and he died. And he turned blue, and then we had 4 more girls. So then there was 1 boy and 8 girls. Yeah.
We had 8 girls and 5 boys.
My father worked on a farm, a small farm, and my mother, she was sewing. She had 1 foot on the sewing machine and a baby in her arms, We were very poor, you know. But we had a good life. None of us, we didn't have much to eat, but we were never undernourished, you know.
She lied to me. She said she was rich. Right, she was a pauper. Hey, that's what, you know, I've been through hell in the wall, really. And my hair was white. Next day after I married her.
Yeah, you wish.
Next day.
Yeah.
My father owned before I was born, they had a grocery store they owned. Then my father was a barber all as long as I ever knew. He had a barber shop. And my oldest brother worked for my father and another barber. I was too young, but I remember as a youngster. And that's about it.
In my late teens, I went to England for 5 years, and I came out here in 1958. So I worked in Gillette's factory for.
Gillette Razor.
It's what do you call it now? But I worked there for 27 years. So I worked in the factory, and then I worked in the office for the last 10 years that I was there. Well, I wanted to see America. I had 2 sisters here, and I wanted to see America, but I didn't have any money, so I came here. And my sister sponsored me out here, so then I stayed out here there. We met in July 1979.
I didn't know
On July 3rd. July 3rd.
You're going to marry me or a boy.
So anyway, we were over this Italian's house. Excuse me.
Tell her about the gun.
And so anyway, we're waiting for this other lady to come. And I was taking out some dishes out to the kitchen. So this lady put her arms around me. I never met her before. She put her arms around me. She said, I think she's going to call my brother Joey. She said, over and meet you. And that's what she said. They had a piano that she wanted to see. She wanted him to look at. And for him to come over. For him to come over. So anyway, he came over, and that's how we met.
I played the piano. She says, "Oh my God."
That was 1979. 1979, and then we got married then in 1980.
I think married.
Less than a year. We wanted to get married at Christmas, but then I looked at the calendar, and then I said, "Well, we met on July 3rd." So I said, "Then May 3rd." Then we got married then on May 3rd, 1980.
And I went through hell in the wall, believe me, but that was a picnic. Next day after I married Terry, and Ken's wife. Right, Terry?
Wrong. No, you must have been about 18, honey.
I volunteered. Well, I was single then, and my mother. Then I got my base was transferred in Norfolk, Virginia. We were ready to ship out. And they were going to ship out, so they told my mother, my father was sick, he couldn't come. So one of my sisters a couple of my sisters took my mother in Norfolk, where my ship was. They didn't know I was on a ship there, because we were shipping out. And I was young and single then, 2,000 years ago. Yeah, sure, she laughs like you. Yeah, yeah. All right, so I'm the 2,000-year-old man,
Well,
so
then tell her
what?
about the Iwo Jima.
Coast Guard, you never hear the Coast Guard, United States Coast Guard. We took the army in Normandy and southern France in combat. Then we went to get through that, we went to the South Pacific and we took the Marines. I even remember the division, we took the 4th Marines into Iwo Jima. And we took the 2nd Marines, that's the divisions, into Okinawa on D-Day. We were the first ones in there, but that's how it was. And I was lucky, I came home, a lot of them never came home, you know. We caught hell there, but that was it. I was single then, and I didn't know, Terry didn't know me.
No, well, he was married before, he got married in after the war, and he had a son and daughter.
But my wife.
But the son, he lost his son.
And I lost
But the
my
daughter
wife.
she still lives in Weston, so she's close to us, you know, now.
And my wife died. Well, it was lucky.
He had a house, so I went to live there. And then after that, then we went to a community and not Weston. And then we bought a house in no, I can't even think of it. Not Weston, but we lived there then for maybe about 17 years, and then I got sick, and then Joe's daughter then got us to come in over here. Then that's where we came in. Then we came in over here.
I married her, but she said she had plenty of money. She lied. She was poorer than I was. Right, Terry?
Yeah, yeah. So I thought he had money, so I thought I didn't have to work after we got married, but I was fooled I had to work. Well, I just worked a few years because I retired at 55. Well, growing up, I mean, like you say,
Well, individually, go ahead. That's Terry's
well,
job.
we had nothing. We had nothing. We were on a farm. I never wanted to learn too much in school because my younger sister, she'd be doing her homework and I'd be out playing, and then I'd be crying, going to school in the morning, and then my older sister would help me do my homework because I was lucky to be able to read and write. Maybe it's about the 12th, well, I don't know, it was maybe about the 10th grade or so. You know, I was 26 when I came here. I came here in 1958. Tell her then about your father, wanted to hear about the pipe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, tell her that.
I was a sharpshooter in the service. I really
No,
was.
but that's before you were in
No, yeah.
That was
No, you want me to tell the story or you want to tell it, for Christ's sake. So, so my father always smoked a pipe. I never smoked. My father smoked a pipe. But I was really, even as a kid, I was a sharpshooter. I was pretty sharp. So my father, I didn't know. He said, Joe, he said, I want you to go there, get the gun, which was a rifle. And I want you to, I'll tell you after you get over there. He didn't tell me what he wanted to do. So they had a lot of people there, especially a lot of men. And so, well, Pa, what's this supposed to be? I said, well, just tell me what you want. What are all these people here for? They want to see. My father said that how I was as a kid. I was really a sharpshooter, and I was. I'm not bragging, but it's true. But no, it's true. So anyway, make a long story short, I went there and he had a pipe. He put a pipe. My father always smoked a pipe, had this pipe in more. So he goes down the other end of the yard. I said, Pa, where you going? No, I'm not going to go here. He says, just stay there. Because if my father says, you stay there, you better stay there because it's like a thunderstorm. The place starts to shake. He's a great guy, a wonderful mom and dad. So he goes there, and all of a sudden I see, he's got the pipe in his hand, he puts it in his mouth. He hollered. He said, Joe. He hollered. I said, Pa, yeah, what are you doing down there? You're gonna shoot this pipe out of my mouth. I said, Pa, what are you, crazy? And I was a good shot. I was a sharpshooter even as a kid. I said, Pa, you can't do that. Suppose I take a spell and I miss. I'm gonna kill you. He said, I'm not worried about it, my father said. Because my father had a lot of faith in me, you know. I said, no. And then when he got angry, say, to holler at you better, you wish that he whacked you. Because when he said something, believe me, the place would shake. He's very, demanding voice, but he was a wonderful guy, he really was. And so was my mom. So anyway, he said, you're going to shoot the pipe out of my mouth. I said, that's when I said, Pa, you must be crazy. I said, I could slip or something, I could kill you. He said, you're not going to kill me, I'm your father. I said, Pa, but that's the way he had a lot of faith in me, you know. Well, anyway, make a long story short, I went there and I shot the pipe out of his mouth. Everybody screaming, oh. I said,
I suppose he made a bet, I suppose, with
of
the
course
other.
he did, he gambled,
bet
you
with
know.
the other guys, and he didn't shoot out of his mouth. And I tell him about the time he had a mouse in the house. He went with the gun to shoot the mouse.
Oh, yeah. I had 8 sisters. And there were 5 boys, and I was the youngest. Well, and all of a sudden they start screaming. What the hell are they screaming about? So my father said, get Joe. Well, there was Jojo at the time. Get Jojo. I mean, I was just a kid then. But I could shoot. My father taught me how to shoot when I was very young. I said, what's the matter, Pa? And all the girls were screaming, all the sisters. They saw a mouse go by. And Christ, they went crazy, you know. So they says, so my father said to me, Joe, before your sisters wreck the house, there's a mouse in there and they think it's a lion. Go and get it, you know. So I says, and now I'm in my underwear. I'm just a kid in bed, really. So they got me. I got out of bed. I said, Jesus, Pa. He says, take care of it. He says, I think the mouse went under the sink. That's what my father said. Don't forget that. And I got up, and make a long story short, he gave me the rifle, and boom, boom, I killed the mouse. It looked like I killed a lion. That's how it was. I enlisted in World War II, and we were in Normandy, southern France. We took the army in there, and I was in the amphibious force, like one of those big boats, but that was taking the troops into combat. And then I took the Marines into Iwo Jima, and also that was the 4th Marines into Iwo Jima, that's the division. And we took the 2nd Marine Division into Okinawa in combat. And that's how it was.
But his niece's son made that replica of the what is it about that?
Landing craft.
The landing craft. But that's down in New Orleans. If you ever didn't be down in New Orleans in a museum, it's like there's a big one down there in New Orleans that is the same as that one. It's a much bigger one.
The difference is with my numbers on it.
Yeah.
The APA-33 is my ship, and number 21 was the one I had. That was the one we were in combat.
We're married 35 years now. Well, last May.
And I play the piano.
Oh, that's this month.
I play the piano by ear.
Play a little
Don't be
tune.
ridiculous.
Go ahead and play a little tune now. Go ahead.
I'll play a love song.
Yeah, and there's a small
All right,
here
okay.
this afternoon. honey,
She
come
don't
on.
know Mama, the song.
Yes, she does.
Mama.
Go ahead.
So that's all right. Mama. Now, if there was a bunch of women here, you're just a baby, and they would all cry, but that's about your mother. You're losing your mother, and they well, so I start playing, and then start crying. And what are you crying for? Oh, show that.
Play a little more.
Well, ring, wait.